I'm taking you somewhere special today. You gotta get suited up though. You gotta match me.
All right, let's do it. What happens this afternoon? What do we do with these costumes?
I want to take you to a cosplay festival.
Good to meet you. You too.
I'm going to show you around all day. You don't have to think about anything. I want you to meet a ton of my friends.
Oh my God.
This is the center of alternative and cutting edge fashion in Japan. Check out all these little bars all around us.
Yeah.
You can be here 100 times and you'll never go to the same bar. You'll never have the same drinking experience. So first when you meet a person, what do? Pop quiz.
Say hello.
Say hello.
Give a hug.
Oh, no. Oh, we need a 45-degree angle. Exactly. There you go.
Okay. Konnichiwa.
And that is
So
La
good.
Carmina. She is joining us now, fashion blogger and travel TV host. How are you?
How are you?
I'm wonderful.
I love watching your the travel TV and the fashion stuff because, I mean, you're literally going all over the world now and doing this
I
stuff.
am. I've been to Italy, Tokyo, Hong Kong, all around, and just because I started this blog.
Now, everybody wants to start a blog, and you really just started one because you liked what?
Because I love Japanese street style, the stuff I'm wearing. I love underground culture, gothic subcultures, and I wanted to just express it. So somehow people started reading, and it blew up into this big old thing.
How did it happen? I mean, it's really funny because obviously, you know, the greatest fashion to me is always teetering on the edge of almost insanity. You know what I mean? Like it's very close, but it never becomes totally foolish. But how did it sort of take off? Did you feel that wave coming and people starting to spread it around and talking and stuff? Do you just see it through the blog and the reaction?
I'm an active participant. I'm not the one who's sitting there looking at magazines. I'm out there in the goth clubs, at the fetish parties. So these are my friends. I'm seeing the fashion up close, and I love to wear it myself.
Yeah.
So it's through living it, experimenting, and trial and error that I think you really get to love the fashion.
And tell us a little bit more about Japanese street style, because Gwen Stefani, I think, popularized it a bit, but it's been going on for a very long time in Japan. How do you define the street style in Japan?
You know, there's so many different looks, but I would define it as creativity, freedom. You'd see these amazing layers, experimental clothing that mixes the elegance of the Victorian era with Alice in Wonderland. There's all these experimental styles, mainly found in the Harajuku streets.
Yeah, and how important is it to actually be there and experience it in order to, you know, pass it along to your readers and your viewers and stuff, because it changes so rapidly?
It does. And I'm so lucky that I'm able to go to Tokyo at least 3 or 4 times a year for different TV jobs. So I'm able to live it. I'm there all the time. I think you do have to be there, feeling the energy, hearing all the noises around you, seeing the girls for yourself in the streets.
And where do you get your clothes? I'm assuming you don't go to just one place. You probably get them all over the world. But what defines your style, and how do you come up with what you wear?
I love supporting independent designers. I love my friend Ako made this dress. Her brand is called Blah Blah Hospital, based in Tokyo. So she calls it deconstructed nurse punk. And his jacket, it has a skull on the back. It's jewelry black, a very visual Japanese brand. So I just love to support styles that are connected to the underground in some way.
Yeah, and that works well with what you're doing in New York. You're just off to Fashion Week next week, and you're speaking at one of the
Fashion
presentations.
Bloggers Conference, yes.
Nice.
I'm one of the speakers.
And what do you usually talk about? I mean, do you talk about your own specific stuff? Do you talk about the creative process, the actual blogging and writing and creating, or is it more about the fashion?
Well, my panel, which is at 9 a.m. on February 8th, it's about what are bloggers worth? And it's just amazing that a few years ago, bloggers were not allowed into fashion weeks. You couldn't get seats.
Yeah.
No
They
one
were
took
pretty
you
much
seriously.
banned. Yeah.
Exactly. And now we have this huge conference that draws in hundreds of people from all around the world. And so I'm going to be speaking about how to build brand relationships, how to just get your blog out there and be treated professionally with respect.
And that was the first thing that struck me about your blog, is your branding is so strong. And it's not very easy to come up with that for a blog. So what's your advice as someone who does have success as a blogger, is how to define your brand and do something unique that people are going to be drawn to and come back?
I would say don't try to follow the bloggers that do have success. There's no one formula. I think really be true to who you are and don't be afraid to be niche. For example, I don't wear the mainstream brands, but I still have all these supporters, all these punk goth kids from around the world read my blog. So even if you're not part of the mainstream, you can find your own way.
And we also introduced you as a travel TV host. What are you doing in that regard?
Yeah, the Huffington Post stuff is great.
Oh, thank you. Yes, I do my own video series for Huffington Post. One was a cool hunting series where I went to Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
What did you do in Milwaukee?
Well, you know, you wouldn't think you'd find something cool there, but I found this crazy themed love hotels where you could have beds that swung and jungle-themed rooms. I visited a cheese castle. I just get into all these fun adventures.
A cheese castle?
Yep.
How much fun is that for you? I mean, because obviously, you know, you have a lot of fun with people. People have a lot of fun with you because you're not what people expect. I think sometimes, you know, the visual and everything else. But how much fun is it to go to a place like Milwaukee and be surprised like that and see these things?
I just didn't know what to expect, and I just had this great experience. People were so friendly and accepting towards me, and you would never know until you dive in there and give it a go.
Now,
Yeah,
we
the
would
human
be remiss
connection.
if we didn't get to the photo of the cat photo that you brought. Now, maybe you can explain this photo
The
shoot.
earless, there it is there.
Oh,
okay.
that's
Scottish
baby.
Fold. Whose cat is this?
He used to belong to Mia Farrow, but now he's my baby.
How did that happen?
I stole him. I met him and thought, oh, you're too cute. I'm taking you home. But he's a big part of my blog. All my readers know him, and his videos on YouTube are very popular. And that's just what I mean. You know, when you really put yourself out there, your life, personal, then people find a connection.
Yeah, and that's part of, I guess, what people have to learn as they start the writing process, too, is you're always better when you're writing about what you truly love, you know, what has depth with you as a person and as a human being as well.
And that's how you find like-minded people. I think a lot of people in the alternative Gothic scene, sometimes they feel quite isolated or marginalized. But if you write and really put yourself out there, you can find strength in other people just like you.
Strength in numbers. Now, I've never been to Japan. If I were to go, I know, right? But it's on the top of my list. If I were to go, where would you tell me to go visit?
I think you would just love the shopping in Harajuku. I have a shopping guide on my site, so I'll send it to you. But the stores are out of control, candy-colored everything. And I just love how you can take a piece and you can style it in so many different ways. So it may seem too extreme, like people are probably watching thinking I'd never wear that. But you could just take one thing and just make it your own.
Well, and it's amazing how you see the resonance of what's happening in the street scene and sort of the underground and how it makes its way through the fashion world, because it all starts there and works its way up, doesn't it, as you go
It's nice
along?
to bring a little bit of Japanese streets to New York Fashion Week when I'm there.
Nice.
We'll have fun. We'd love to have you back whenever you're in Vancouver. If you want to go to La Carmina's site, you can do so. It is on the screen for you right now. You can find her blog and find out more about fashion.
Can we
and what
do a
she'll be doing.
makeover on our show? You can make Fee and I over?
Okay,
Can you make him into a Harajuku girl?
Yes.
Done. We're doing it.
Done.
All right,
Done.
we're doing it.
We're going to take a break.